Hello, Sacred Souls. It's Susanna from Alamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is a finishing up of disconnecting from those dark, narcissistic people that are, and entities as well, like attached to them, that are still in the devil energy. And I've got the fire going over here. Last night I had a dream that my gifts are wasted on those dark ones. And it was referring to two. And it wasn't in an arrogant kind of way, but it was in the sense of don't waste your time and energy trying to heal someone who doesn't want to be healed and who needs to find their own way, basically. And instead, take your gifts back and focus on your own healing, on raising your own vibration. And, this way, actually helping everyone. So, this, I know, applies to our collective, because many of us are healers. And I also came across something actually over the last few weeks again and again, but today twice or three times, I think three times, of this common misconception that there has to be a human authority figure that decides when we're ready to be initiated or graduated or ready to be called a certain type of healer, that we have to, let's say, go through courses and courses or a whole program, which is really part of the old matrix system that is, or was, well, still is, controlled by the dark. And even in a lot of spiritual practices, and especially religions, in my opinion, it's the dark disguising itself as light, so therefore the false light, because nothing and no one human has the right to stand between us and our direct spiritual connection to the divine. No one, absolutely no one has the right to do that. And if we are on the healing path, we get initiated directly by the divine, and many of us are currently going through either shamanic initiations or anything similar or comparable to that, because we're going through a lot of spiritual tests, and every hardship and hurdle and black magic and stuff like that that's thrown our way is there to help us learn, to pass a test, and to bring us up to the next level. So that is a school in itself, but this is actually directly from the divine. So that's something, like, I actually took tons and tons of notes on that today. It's like I had quite the downloads, triggered by some stuff that, people were saying, for example, how shamans have to be initiated by a human shaman. However, like, even let's say if they come from a long lineage of healers, that is not recognized in our human society, right? So that's this common misconception that I think many of us are waking up from, because so many of us are currently in the ascension process, and we are ascending on our own. Just like Jesus and Buddha didn't have anyone initiate them. They ascended on their own by actually turning their backs on all those indoctrinated religious systems and beliefs. well, I mean, they still had the basic teachings, obviously, but yeah, so that's something that I wanted to mention because I think that's what we still need to heal from. But for today, oh, yes, and sorry, actually, one of the examples I wanted to mention is 2 years ago, I went to a UWP ceremony, which is like one of the native traditions, where the medicine man had to be tied up in a big sack and basically like symbolically like sacrifice himself, because it's like really claustrophobic and stuff from what he explained, and I'm certain it is. And then there were also people that did a skin sacrifice. And after that, I was massively drained, and like black magic started happening, which was also like someone else specifically doing that. Also connected to those people. But yeah, anyway. But the draining part, I gave a girl a ride home after that ceremony, and she told me how she constantly feels drained, and she goes to several of those ceremonies. She's been going there more regularly than me because I always knew to kind of pull back when something didn't feel right. And then I had a dream that these people were vampires, and all their victims that they were being drained were completely brainwashed zombies that were happy to be there and followed them blindly in complete trust and belief that it was for their own good, that it was gonna help them in some way or whatever. And I was the only one who actually awoke from that, and I could see through it, and I left. And that's exactly what the dark does. It's like they siphon from those that have a lot of light to give them more power to then perform miracles, because in those ceremonies, people with cancer, for example, can be healed, but it's at the expense of everyone else, right? And when you think back about human sacrifices in ancient times, and then they had animal sacrifices, and then that got moderated to like little skin sacrifices in some of these traditional ceremonies. But that's all the dark disguising itself as light, because the divine does not require those kind of violent, gory sacrifices. Every religion and spiritual practice teaches do not kill, yet they required humans to be killed and then animals to be killed, and then they moderated it to just like having blood drawn. But that goes against the original teaching, so that was the false light. And that is still so deeply ingrained in a lot of people, and it's so like in the spiritual community, it's still so steeped in there that I think those of us who can see through it, we need to step back and free ourselves from all that, because all of those people then end up draining and attacking us because we can actually see through it, and they don't have the light and the powers that are being given to us by the divine. And everyone has those abilities and powers. We just have to connect to the divine, and we have to commit ourselves to a spiritual practice, a daily practice, to connect with the divine every day and really try our best to be the best person we can possibly be, and to be willing to learn and change and all that, right? So anyway, sorry, this kind of turned into a bit of a longer preaching than I expected, but this has been sort of burning on my soul for a while, because it's really hard when we get attacked by those that are supposedly on the same or a similar path, but yet they're still so brainwashed and indoctrinated by the dark programming, right? Okay, anyway, enough of that. So some of these that are still in the ego and unwilling to actually look at themselves are kind of what I started when I did a ceremony at home, but it's basically they wanted to dump their dark karma that they received for attacking us on us by trying to get back into our energy, which then allows them to dump that stuff on us. And our message is, no thank you. You cannot dump your bad karma on us, especially not the bad karma that you received for attacking us in the first place, for trying to sacrifice us in the first place. And crazy enough, when I posted yesterday's video and I said no dumping bad karma on us, I don't know if it was a typo or autocorrect, but the no got changed to NP capitalized. So no problem dumping bad karma on us. And that is the dark trying to get in again, to find a way in, right? So as soon as I realized it, I changed it and like wrote it correctly. And then today, as I was walking to where I do the fire ceremonies, my left pant leg got pulled down more and more into my boot, as if somebody was trying to pull on my leg and hold me back, stop me from coming here. And I actually kept like pulling it up again, so it was quite crazy. And then I forgot my phone in the car, so I had to actually walk all the way back again to get it. So a lot of delays, a lot of things happening to try to stop me from doing this ceremony, and also just us from like actually ascending, right? Okay, so that is like all the stuff, the cord cutting, and oh sorry, this is something else that was in there. And I put most of the wax already in the fire to get it going because it rained today, and I wanted to make sure that we have enough of a fire going there. So I'll quickly throw the other wax in here as well. And these are just my notes from the ceremony, but here's the portal closing, the breaking of the black magic and the devil energy, and all the cord cutting, and the trying to get to us anytime. When I close that, then when I cracked the nuts, so a lot of this is like from ceremonies from the past few days, but what I'm adding here today is the banana peels that basically, like, they tried to make us slip and fall, but we're gonna put that in the fire. That shall be neutralized and transmuted, and that's from 2. And like in my case, it's especially 2 who are still coming at me again and again, and that's both of them are those kind of people, right? And then this was from the bat candle. I already put the other narcissist banishing candle in the fire. I needed all the wax I could get, but this one I wanted to show you because whoops, sorry, 6 of those 12 candles are completely surrounded by the black wax from the bat candle, and a 7th one almost fully. And it's like the black candle burnt down so fast it dripped right through it, and it finished burning before all the 12 white candles burnt down. And if you look over here, and it looks all like bunched up and like folded. It's like it's folding. You know when you confront a bully and they just shrink down and it's like they fold because then suddenly they become the victim because they can't bully us anymore? But there's like no in between. It's like they're like, it's like the ego that just shrinks down. And it had this inside, which is kind of a really neat metal structure, but that was also just completely fallen over, right? So it's like that is done. And I wanted to show you before putting it in. I'm gonna have to like get all of these out. But what I do want to add, and yeah, I have some salt here, and then again, we're going to ask for divine justice and protection. And I have some dragon blood resin that I actually wanted to use for smudging, but I can't handle these, this charcoal that has some kind of chemical on them. So I actually just went back to the regular sage. So I feel like today I'm going to put all the dragon blood resin in there just for our extra protection. And I think I have to actually do this quickly here with the wax before this fire goes out. So let's quickly smudge and call in our spirit guides, and then I'll put the wax in right away. Oh yeah, actually, I think I'm gonna just throw them in. No, hold on. Okay, please cleanse and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, evil, and low vibrational, and flood us with massive amounts of love and light, blessings and protections from the divine. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Dear Creator, higher power, source and soul energy, our higher selves, our higher spirit guides of the light, dear Mother Earth, our ancestors that are in the light, great spirit of the fire, as well as the other elements, air, earth, and water. It's kind of still wet everywhere. But I also have some water here to put out the fire afterwards. I just put it in my cups here. Please join the ceremony and assist the healings, banishings, prayers, and protections for with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna start by putting all that, oops, not the metal, hold on. All the dark wax from the bat candle that represented the vampires, that shall all be put in the fire, and all their dark energy shall be removed from us and from them as much as possible, be transmuted into love and light, and returned to source energy for complete neutralization and reintegration into source energy. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. Now, let me get the other bits and pieces, because it rained almost all day today, so any wax that we can get in there, see how much of a difference it makes. Okay, this I may have to scrape off after, because this is actually really stuck, but I got most of it. See, just a tiny bit left, the rest is all clear. So I'll get that later. We ask for divine intervention, justice, and protection. All these dark, unhealed souls and beings, these people that are unable and unwilling to face themselves and their own issues, their own toxicity, that direct all of their self-hate at us, and that are so relentless. They do not want to stop, and there's so much in the devil energy, and they feel so entitled to take from others, because at some point when they were small, they didn't get enough love and attention, so they feel entitled to take from others, to be in the parasitic, vampiric, narcissistic, shark, predatory type devil energies. Please fully and completely shield and protect us from them. We ask for divine justice regarding these dark ones. They shall now fully and completely receive their full-blown instant karma and divine punishment for all their evil deeds, and they shall not be able to dump their dark karma on us or anyone else. They made their bed, and they shall lay in it. They shall be unable to project their stuff onto anyone else ever again. They shall be fully and completely sealed into their own stuff. They shall always see themselves reflected back to them, to the point that they cannot unsee it, so that they have to face themselves and their own reality and to realize how toxic they actually are. And I'm actually going to put this just in here as well. And all the traps that they set for us to slip and fall shall be returned to them. And we wish them the best of luck on their healing journey. But they made their bed and they shall lie in it. Good luck with your own karma. Deal with it. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations. And here we go. Oops. Yeah, hold on. I gotta move one of those sticks. Gotta make room for the bed. Here we go. They made their bed and now they shall lie in it until they have dug themselves out of their own grave that they dug for themselves. And I know this may sound harsh, but we shall no longer shoulder other people's problems, chaos, destruction, and burdens. We have our own journey and we have a right to live our own lives. We have a right to joy, happiness, abundance, to all the blessings that were taken from us. We call them back now. We revoke any and all consent for these dark ones to access us and our energy fields, cut any and all cords, close any and all portals and gateways, and release them now and forever from our lives, from our energy fields, from any and all karmic connections, and anything else that has kept us bound to them in any way, shape, or form. And that shall be applied to body, mind, spirit, soul, energy field, and any and all karmic connections and aspects throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime. And so it is. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. We call back our power, we call back our strength, we call back our energy, we call back our happiness, our joy, our abundance, our blessings, our gifts, our lives. And so it is, all my relations. And we sent back everything that they dumped on us back to them. And so it is, all my relations. Oh, I forgot to put the rattle or the bell out, but that's okay. Let me put the salt in there to seal it in. Oh, and look, it's already a bottomless pit. Whew. They are banished from our lives now and forever. And with the dragon blood resin, we ask the dragons of the light to give us extra protection and shielding while these dark ones lose their connection to us and try to reconnect to the energies that they lost. Give us all the extra protection for as long as we need it through this process. Hold on. The plastic bag is going to melt if I go too close. Here we go. Oh, wow. That smells good. Ooh, yeah. Whew. Please flood us with massive amounts of healing light, unconditional love, blessings, protections, and all the gifts and blessings and the abundance that is rightfully ours. And help us always have strong boundaries so that these dark ones can no longer get in. And put a massive shield of a 12D shield of protection with golden light all around us, and seal and repair any and all holes, cracks, and tears in our energy field, and put a massive seal from the divine all around that to seal the energy shield and make it completely impenetrable. And so it is all my relations. Whew. Whoops. Hold on. Okay. All right. Wow, and look at how yellow this fire is burning. That's for our solar plexus. And that's only on camera. If I look into the fire, it looks more like the normal sort of fire yellow, not the like yellow that I can see on camera here, which is like really cool. Yeah, our solar plexus is healing. We're taking our power back. Wow. Whew. Okay. Oh, we're good. We're good. All right. And our crown chakra shall be opened, and all of our gifts shall be activated within us, and all of our chakras shall continue and finish healing to help us more and more into our powers and in our ascension process. And help us connect more and more with the divine in whichever way that is. Oh. A little while ago, I read a comment on someone else's YouTube channel about how he or she, they didn't think that they had a gift, like meaning none of the clairs. And I commented about, you know, intuition and other stuff, but I think so many of us have been blocked because of how society is set up, but also that's like all these narcissists and insecure people around us that have basically made us feel like we're not special, we don't have gifts, our intuition is nonsense, and all that kind of stuff. So many of us have actually explained stuff away or suppressed it. And like, for example, in my case, growing up, my sensitivity was always made fun of and ridiculed, right? So like, that is something that I have tried to suppress for the longest time, and I'm still in the process of reclaiming some of that, right? because it's like, oh yeah, Susanna, she's just so sensitive, right? So then I tried to be tough, and I know that many of you have gone through similar experiences where you were not able to openly live your gifts or admit them to others and so on, right? I mean, I've always had really strong dreams and a really strong intuition, and that as a female was somewhat more acceptable. And the dreams, you know, I had people say, you know, there's like a more sort of academic way of interpreting them, blah, 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 but they still recognize that there was some kind of guidance for my life that, you know, could benefit me. So those were always a little bit easier to admit, but being an empath, like, it took me a really long time to fully realize that that's what I was. And the claircognizance came in more and more as I was more opening up to my intuition and listening more and more to it, right? And I've had some visions, but I still hesitate a little bit to call myself clairvoyant because it's not often enough and frequent enough and like there enough. Oh, that just did a funny thing. I think it may have just paused the recording again. I hope it didn't. Anyway, so in case it cut off, this is part 2 and the end of the ceremony for like freeing ourselves from those narcissists that made their bed and now they have to lie in it, and they can't dump their bad karma on us. So I'm just gonna wrap it up because the camera just did a weird flickery thing and I suspect that it may have cut off. So let's just finish it. It was probably a sign that I've talked enough. So please close the circle of protection around, let the ceremony now be finished and accept our love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings. And open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations, and so it is. And thank you all so much for watching, for being a part of the ceremony, and for working on your own healing. I'm also sending you tons of love and light, many blessings and protections, and be well until next time. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe, and be well. Bye.